rise for the invocation and pledge of allegiance from Council Member, the Honorable Ms. Mary McKenna.
Let's bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we come to you today to ask you for your continued blessings on every person here, on this council, on the mayor, on our city staff, on our community at large. We ask that you continue to guide us, to hold our hand, to give us wisdom, to give us love, to give us peace, to give us unity. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, on to item number 3, motion finding that the advanced posting and notice requirements of Article 8.1200 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Orange, Texas have been met in relation to all minutes and pending ordinances and resolutions on this agenda, and that the reading of such items be confined to the captions as are agreed upon by the ordinances and resolutions. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Mr. Birch?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Ms. McKenna?
Aye.
Ms. Salter?
Aye.
Mr. Childs?
Aye.
And Mr. Bailey?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. On to item 4, citizen comments. At this time, comments will be taken from the audience on any subject matter, whether or not that item is on the agenda. All comments are limited to a maximum of 3 minutes for each speaker. Your comments are appreciated. As the Texas Open Meetings Act does not allow the council to respond to items not listed on the agenda, your comments will be duly noted by the council and forwarded to the appropriate department for prompt consideration. A member of the audience that desires to speak during the city council's consideration of any specific agenda item is requested to notify city staff prior to the start of the meeting. At this time, the first name that I have on my list is Ms. Tara Moore. Please come forward, state your name and address, and you have 3 minutes.
Good afternoon. My name is Tara Moore, and I reside at 409 South 10th Street in the city of Orange. Mayor Spears, and to the members of the Orange City Council, I am standing before you again. It was March the 28th, 2023, when I stood in the same place to ask that you consider a change to the orange Christmas decorations. Mayor Spears, you were out on maternity leave. However, I am sure someone sitting to the left or to the right of you had the task of informing you of what transpired during your absence. I am not surprised, but a little confused as why only one person sitting before me thought enough of my plight to speak with me. I am asking that you display African American Christmas decorations at the City Hall. We deserve decorations that are representative of all citizens, black, white, and brown. It is appalling and embarrassing to come to the City Hall during the holidays and there are no decorations that appeal to the diverse makeup of the city of Orange. Let me be clear, I understand that the decorations that the city displays have been on hand for years, but in 2023, they're unacceptable and there needs to be a change. Because of the lack of communication, I would tend to think that many of you sitting before me do not think that changes to the Christmas decorations are needed. However, I have reached out to the community to gather support. I am here today because it's fondly known as Christmas in July. And because 4 months later, it appears my voice concern in March means absolutely nothing. It is my plan to continue to review the situation, and if needed, go beyond these walls. I will make the concern known to the local media, newspapers, TV, and social media. When I think back, James A. Roberts, gone. S.E. Belfield, gone. Henry Lowe, gone. Gone are the warriors that would have not accepted our current display. I strongly agree with John Lewis when he said, When you see something that is not right, not fair, not just, you have to speak up. You have to say something. You have to do something. And that's where my plight will begin. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank
Moore.
you.
Just to let you know, Ms. Moore, last year the Santa was African American because I played it. All right, next we have Robbie Wimberly. Please come forward.
Robert Wimberly, 1208 Redbud Drive, Orange, Texas. Today marks the third city council meeting that I've asked in person all of the city council members to look into an injustice that has occurred to Ruby Wimberly's City of Orange water bills. To briefly explain what I've asked all of you to consider on numerous occasions is that Ruby Wimberly's water bill has always been approximately $71 a month, and the City of Orange Water Department drafted out of her bank account $1,077.53 one month and $480.78 the next month. The Public Works Director and the City Manager have taken the position that the water line break is on the part of the water line the homeowner is responsible for, not the city. According to them, the family's complaint should be with the contractor. The City of Orange Water Department and the Public Works Director do not answer to the citizens of Orange, Texas. They report to the City Manager. The City Manager does not answer to the citizens of Orange, Texas either. City Council hired the City Manager, and he only reports to the City Council who hired him. The City Council also gave its approval and authorization in 2021 for D&H Development to begin the construction of Little Cypress Grove subdivision, who was essentially the contractor referred to earlier by the Public Works Director and the City Manager. The Mayor and the City Council members are elected by the citizens of Orange, Texas. A mistake was made, and an elderly citizen is looking for help from the elected officials to fix the two exorbitant drafts taken from her bank account by the City of Orange Water Department. No matter who made the mistake, the City of Orange is wrong in penalizing a citizen by drafting out of her bank account funds for water they know she didn't use. And as a City Council, all of you have the power to make this situation right. If this had happened to you or your family, you would want the City Council to do the right thing. Just a reminder, Orange, Texas is a small town. Around here, citizens usually take care of their own. I would assume when it becomes election time, these same citizens will remember what the City Council did when they had the opportunity to treat an elderly citizen with the respect and dignity that they deserve. During your tenure as elected officials of Orange City Council, I recommend you don't treat citizens in a negative way in this small town. I will say this one more time. As City Council, all of you have the power to make this situation right. Also, as a common courtesy, could each of the elected officials here please reply to this request made on behalf of an elderly citizen who has been a lifelong resident of Orange, Texas.
Thank you.
Okay, there is no one else on the list. Is there anyone else who would like to address the City Council? If not, we will move from citizen comments and move forward with city announcements. Mr. Coons?
We're going to let Kelvin say a couple words, and then we'll let you do your thing.
Just to give you an update on a couple of demolition projects, the Sabine Park Apartments, the outstanding utility bill has been paid, that was $180,000. The mowing bill, where we mowed the property, that bill has been paid. So the contractor, Lark Group, who you awarded the demolition contract to, they anticipate getting started on the demolition of the nine buildings next week. They may set up a little bit this week, but most of the demolition they anticipate starting next week. So that's going to be good news to get those substandard buildings demolished. The second one is that a demolition permit was issued this morning to Manchak & Sons, a local contractor, to tear down the Orange Villa living units.
Oh, yes.
And they anticipate getting started tomorrow.
The old nursing home.
The old nursing home.
Yes.
So there's that whole area of town is going to look significantly different here in about a month or so. With those properties all demolished and cleared off, and it's really going to change that end of town.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
And they're not going to take the trees down around the park.
No.
I was about to say, or the villa, or the orange villa, the trees there, I,
That's probably.
I'm not really sure about the bill because that's they're paying for, the property owner's paying for the demolition, the city's not paying for that demolition, so I'm not really sure. I hope that they preserve the trees at Orange Villa as well, because those are huge trees.
I was gonna say, I was
Yes.
contacted about the trees.
I was too.
It's a lot of people really concerned, and they want those trees to remain.
Thank you, Kelvin. And for those who are here that may not know, Kelvin is the leader of our department that helps us get things cleaned up and fixed. And so we've been able to tear down over 200 dilapidated properties. So now, to be able to tear down a part of Sabine Park Apartments, the old Oaks, and then now the nursing home, which is overgrown, that's a wonderful thing for downtown Lawrence. Thank you, Kelvin.
Thank you, Kelvin.
All right, is there anyone else from city staff? All right, if that's it, we will move on to some more positive stuff. We have some wonderful young ladies here tonight, and we get to recognize y'all. So how are y'all doing? Good. Oh man, that's weak. So you guys just won the World Series, right? Right? Okay, here we go one more time. How are y'all doing? Good. Y'all sound like my 15-year-old. Barely want to talk today. All right, so here we go. Proclamation from the Office of the Mayor, City of Orange. Whereas it is with great honor that I ask all citizens to recognize this occasion today as we celebrate the GT Shockers 16U softball team. And whereas this team is a select team based in Orange, Texas with girls from Southeast Texas. And whereas the GT Shockers 16U team participated in the FASA World Series located in Branson, Missouri, the week of July 17, 2023. And whereas these girls competed against teams from all over the southern United States, and the GT Shockers 16U softball team had to battle back through the losers bracket, as well as beating the undefeated team twice in the championship series late Saturday evening. And whereas they came from behind in 5 straight bracket games and went 8-2 on the week to bring home the title. And whereas the GT Shockers 16U softball team is as follows, and ask that you please stand. McKenna Knight from Brick City. Jensen Yeaman from Brick City. Ms. Keely Washburn from LCM. Ella Stevenson from LCM. Eden Frenzel from LCM. Jillian Brown from LCM. Charlie Sanchez from Orangefield. Oh, fam in the house. Asia Woodson from LCM. Kendall Jones from LCM. Tessa Erickson from LCM. Ava White from LCM. Hallie Becker from Orangefield. Brooke Mayer from Hampshire Finette. And Callie Wiggins from Kirbyville. All right. Also we have the coaches are Wayne Stevenson, Bill Stevenson. Honorary coach was Aiden Brown. We have Jamie Knight and Madeline Stevenson. And so now, therefore, I, Larry Spears Jr., Mayor of the City of Orange, Texas, do hereby proclaim that July 25th, 2023 shall be recognized in a special tribute as GT Shockers 16U Softball Team 2023 FASA World Series Champs Day in the City of Orange. One at a time, here we go. We made copies for each one of you dads, the coaches, y'all get to have their copy. Congratulations. Good lineup, right? Yeah, there you go, yes. We have to get rid of a lot of trees for all of this. Yes, congratulations. Okay. All right. We have one more. There's somebody missing? She's missing. There's somebody two. Does somebody have it? Oh, and where's the honorary coach? Come on, my man, what you doing? Don't be staying in the stands, you know, honorary coach. Here we go, what we do is that we flip them open and we're gonna all stand up behind you. Flip them open so they can see the papers. There you go. Oh, you might, can you see us? Oh, you might have to get down there.
You're talking to me.
Y'all come on around with them, y'all might have to come around, the guys are standing in the back.
Okay, everybody look at me real quick and then all your parents can get to do it. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Awesome.
All right, congratulations. Yeah, so, unless y'all just wanna hear about the other stuff we're doing. Thank y'all, once again, All right, on to item number 6, consent agenda, June 6, 2023, Planning and Zoning Commission meeting minutes. June 26, 2023, special call Planning and Zoning Commission meeting minutes. June 27, 2023, Orange Economic Development Corporation meeting minutes. And July 11, 2023, regular city council meeting minutes. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Birch?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Ms. McKenna?
Aye.
Ms. Salter?
Aye.
Mr. Childs?
Aye.
And Mr. Bailey? Okay, motion passes. Thank you. On to item 7A, consider a resolution approving EDC funding for the West Side Waterline Phase 2 from Tulane Road to FM 105 in an amount not to exceed $570,000. Mr. Trahan?
Yes, sir. So Mayor and Council, this was discussed in quite a bit of detail at the earlier EDC meeting. And basically it positions the extension of infrastructure along this path from Tulane to FM 105 and strictly for the purpose of economic development of a 30-acre tract to Highway 87 that has 2 pad sites for anchors that we're going to be working on with the property owner. So I'll turn it back over to you, and if you have any questions, I'll be glad to try to answer them and clarify the information.
Okay, do we have any questions for Mr. Trahan? Okay, if not,
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
okay, we have a motion and a second. Mr. Birch?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Ms. McKenna?
Aye.
Ms. Salter?
Aye.
Mr. Childs?
Aye.
And Mr. Bailey? Okay, motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Trahan. Item 7B, consider a resolution awarding a contract to Coburn Supply Company in an amount not to exceed $23,126.41 for bid 2023-33 sewer and water clamps. Mr. Jack?
Good evening, council. This resolution is to get a standard price for the next year for water and sewer claims that we use to fix leaks throughout the city. This will lock in the prices for the next 12 months. Staff recommends approval.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Jack?
Make a motion.
Second.
Can we have a motion and a second? Mr. Birch?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Ms. McKenna?
Aye.
Ms. Salter?
Aye.
Mr. Childs?
Aye.
And Mr. Bailey?
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Jack. Okay, item 7C, consider a resolution awarding a contract to BDS Constructors, LLC, DBA MK Constructors, in the amount of $2,633,776 for the Cooper's Gully Concrete Lining Phase 2B. Mr. Jack.
Yes, this project, council will complete the section of ditch next to Navy Park that has not been concrete lined, and will extend that lining another 2,000 feet on up to 11th Street. Obviously, the benefits of the project, it will convey more water in a more reasonable fashion, and also clean up those areas that those ditches run through and make them less erosive, just create a better situation for the community as a whole. Project is funded by the General Land Office, the Community Block Grant funding, particularly disaster relief related to Harvey, in the amount of $2.9 million. So this is going to be funded primarily by that grant. Staff recommends approval.
And I definitely recommend it as well. So thank you. I know a couple of months ago, we talked about this and y'all were reaching out for this money. And so it's one of those things where I wish those people were here that are constantly negative about that area, thinking that we stopped and we were done. But they don't understand that it takes us a while to get money from the government. I mean, the government don't like giving out money, right? So to hear us finally being able to make it happen, I really appreciate y'all's hard work and due diligence. So I'll make a motion.
Second.
Do we have a motion, second, and a third? Mr. Birch?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Ms. McKenna?
Aye.
Ms. Salter? Mr. Childs?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Jack. Item 8A, consider a motion acknowledging the annual review of the financial policy for the city of Orange. Ms. Zito.
Yes, Mayor and Council. So, annually, we have to approve some policies. This is one of them, it's our financial policy, which governs finance and accounting for the city. Like our accounting methods, our budget, our bonds, revenues, expenses, and that sort of thing. There's been no change to the policy, but annually we have to.
Make a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Birch?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Ms. McKenna?
Aye.
Ms. Salter?
Aye.
Mr. Childs?
Aye.
And Mr. Bailey?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Item 8B, consider a motion acknowledging the annual review and adoption of the City of Orange investment policy. Ms. Zito.
So this is an annual review of our investment policy, which governs our investments, our banking, our cash transactions for the city, and there's been no change since last year.
And we're doing good. Yeah, we finally see some positive numbers. All right, any comments or questions for Ms. Zito?
No.
Have a
Oh,
motion?
great job, thank you.
Yes, great job. You have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Mr. Birch?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Ms. McKenna?
Aye.
Ms. Salter?
Aye.
Mr. Childs?
Aye.
And Mr. Bailey?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. On to item 8C, consider a motion acknowledging the review and adoption of the identity theft prevention policy for the City of Orange. Ms. Zito.
So this policy gives us procedures to safeguard our citizens and customers' personal information along with the city's information. So there's been no change in this policy.
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Mr. Birch?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Ms. McKenna?
Aye.
Ms. Salter?
Aye.
Mr. Childs?
Aye.
And Mr. Bailey?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Zito. Item 8D, consider a motion acknowledging receipt of the city's quarterly investment report for the period ending June 30th, 2023. Ms. Zito.
So this is the investment report for the city, and it lists our cash, our total cash, and how we're doing. Our total cash investments is a little over 38 million, and we have an average rate of return of 4.09, which is very good compared to last year. We have a CD at First Financial Bank, which we'll review next month. We always compare our earning rate, our rate of return to a benchmark. Our benchmark's the U.S. Treasury bills, which is earning right now about 5%. So, we're getting up there, we're doing much, much better. The city earned over $900,000 so far this year in interest. And we're still using the Wells Fargo sweep account, type of investment, because they invest in government-backed securities, and it's safe, and it protects the city.
Now, just for clarification, if that money is in an account, we don't get to go touch that, and we don't get to go grab that.
You know.
Right, I'm just saying that we know what happens is somebody will go back and be like, they just made this extra money, why don't they do this with it? We don't get to touch that. That's in case, Lord help us, it never happens, but something happens and we get wiped out by a hurricane, we use these funds to rebuild
Right,
the
if we
city.
make extra money like that, that's not budgeted, it goes into our reserves
Yes.
to protect us from
To make sure we are able to come back up and be a community
it.
again.
Exactly.
All right, thank you. All right, a motion?
Motion.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Burge?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Ms. McKenna?
Aye.
Ms. Salter?
Aye.
Mr. Childs?
Aye.
And Mr. Bailey?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Ms. Zito's gonna be here a while. Item 8E, consider a motion acknowledging receipt of the Orange Economic Development Corporation financial report for the quarter ending June 30th, 2023. Ms. Zito.
So this is the EDC's financial report that I presented earlier at the board meeting, and long story short, they have almost $1.2 million in available resources at the quarter ending June.
All right, any questions? That's a good amount to have.
Yes.
Bring in some more business and get it going. Okay, I'll make a motion.
Second.
Can we have a motion, second and a third? Mr. Burge?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Ms. McKenna?
Aye.
Ms. Salter?
Aye.
Mr. Childs?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey? Okay, motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Zito. And, let's see. F, consider a motion acknowledging receipt of the Orange Economic Development Corporation investment report for the quarter ending June 30th, 2023. Ms. Zito.
So, I presented this EDC's investment report earlier at the board meeting, and, they have $4.2 million, a little over $4.2 million, and their average rate of return is 4.17, so they're also, EDC's doing well, we're also used this Wells Fargo sweep account with them.
Okay. All right. Any questions? Have a motion?
Motion.
We have a motion, in a second, Mr. Burge.
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan.
Aye.
Ms. McKenna.
Aye.
Ms. Salter.
Aye.
Mr. Childs.
Aye.
Mr. Bailey.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Zito. On to item 8G. Consider a motion authorizing the following public service organizations for 2023 Community Development Block Grant Program funding. The Greater Orange Area Literacy Service, $6,500. Jackson Community Center, $6,500. Julie Rogers Gift of Life, $4,515. Orange Christian Services, $6,000. Orange Community Action Association, the Meals on Wheels program, $12,500. Southeast Texas Hospice, $6,500. Stable Spirit, $5,000. And the total CDBG public service recommendations equal up to $47,515. Ms. Monson.
Mr. Mayor, I refuse from this topic, please.
Okay, thank you, Ms. McKenna. Ms. Monson.
Okay, so this is just our draft because we have not received our final funding letter from HUD yet. There were some more discussions going on, and there's a possibility we may get more money. There's a possibility we may be cut even more. We're hoping for the better half. This budget right now is about $2,700 less than what we did last year. So everybody took a cut. I did let the Citizens Advisory Committee know that y'all's concern was to give Meals on Wheels more money. We could not give them more, but we cut them less than everybody else. So their budget still is, pretty close to what they had last year. I think it's 1,000 less or 500 less. So this is the Citizens Advisory Committee's recommendations, and I turn it over to you.
How do you expect that, or you know if it's gonna be an increase or another decrease?
Well, the consolidated plan has to be done by August 16th, so they are cutting me really close.
Let's hope for the best.
I just want to say thank you for putting this together, and I'm excited to see that we're able to give, from these grants, the Community Development Block Grant. Some people may think, well, where does it come from? Well, it comes from the state, and then we were able to work with them and put this money out to these organizations. And a lot of people don't know about what many of these organizations do, but in their own special way, each one is a blessing. If you don't know about Stable Spirit, they are able to work with children who may be autistic, children who have went through some type of traumatization, or handicapped, or inclement, just bad way of life. And so they take them, and God knew what He was doing. Those animals know how to comfort those children, and until I had first saw it, I was amazed, because I was just like, wow. to know of Southeast Texas Hospice. You know, I had my own mother who went through hospice that takes care of people in their last moments. Meals on Wheels, there's people in this community who would not even eat if it were not for that program.
That's right.
And of course, the Christian services and all the others, they just do a wonderful job. So I'm just excited about it and happy we can still give them something. Hopefully it don't decrease.
Right.
We have to do some link fundraisers or some link sales or something to help them out.
Well, and if you remember, we had Congressman Weber come to our office in April, and all of the agencies presented to him why the Community Development Block Grant was so important, and he took that back to Washington. So the last report that I got from the NCDA, which is the National Community Development Association, said that the numbers were going to be in our favor. So I'm hoping that within, at least by the next council meeting, that maybe I'll have a final for everything.
Okay, great. All right, any questions or comments? Okay, make no motion.
Motion.
Second.
And one in a second, Ms. Birch, Mr.
Aye.
Birch, Ms. Hennigan.
Aye.
Ms. McKenna.
Recused.
That's right, Ms. Salter.
Aye.
Mr. Childs.
Aye.
And Mr. Bailey.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Monty.
Thank you.
All right, on to item 8H. Consider a motion approving action taken by the Orange EDC in the form of a motion of intent approving an EDC incentive with BCS Orange, Take 5 at 3020 North 16th Street, Orange, Texas, 77630 for eligible infrastructure improvements in an amount not to exceed $200,000 for the purpose of economic development. Ms. Granley.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. A public hearing was held prior to this meeting at the EDC meeting. And just a few details about the project. The project will be located at 3020 North 16th Street, which is at 16th Street and Barkins. And an estimated total capital investment for this project is $1.5 million for a Take 5 oil change.
All right. So it's exciting to see that somebody wants to come and build an Orange, and we're happy to have them. So hopefully we keep bringing in some more business.
Absolutely.
All right, any comments or questions? Any, can you make a motion?
Make a motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Mr. Birch?
Aye.
Ms. Hennigan?
Aye.
Ms. McKenna?
Aye.
Ms. Salter?
Aye.
Mr. Childs?
Aye.
Mr. Bailey?
Absolutely.
All right, motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Gravett.
Thank you.
All right, here we go. Item 9A, presentation of fiscal year 2024 budget calendar along with budget notes. Mr. Coons.
Mayor, council, when we started the budget back in the spring, we were very concerned about what some of the state legislature was going to do. But we are moving forward, and so not as quickly as we had anticipated, but nevertheless, here we are. And today, July 25th, we did receive from the appraisal district this afternoon the certified property values for the coming tax year. So with that, here in a couple of days, and I know Cheryl's over there looking at me, so feel free to correct me if I say something not specifically correct, but we'll get the tax rate, or tax rates from the tax assessor collector. So we do know that the certified property values increased, meaning that the taxable value of our properties have gone up. Most of y'all know that from looking at y'all's stuff. Now, this does not include any industrial property. We anticipate those values going down. They are appraised differently than our property is, if you will. But with that, we're going to be restricted on our tax rate. And again, like I said, we'll get that from Karen Fisher's office, hopefully in a couple of days. But with that, we anticipate at the next regular council meeting, we don't anticipate we're going to do it because we have to do it, is present to you the proposed budget. And again, keep in mind that proposed budget is made up from things that we've heard year round from you, the council, citizens, Cheryl and I get with the department head, so it's a months-long project, but we get that proposed budget and we'll give it to you on August the 8th. Now, boom, we're just gonna hand it and say, here you go. But from then on, anything that you want to change in that budget has to be done by council action. So we're going to take it home, take a look at it, and on August 15th, we're gonna have a special called meeting to do a budget workshop. Again, I know, Mayor always says, let's do it in the library, but they're gonna do that escape room in the library.
I know, I saw it. We ain't gonna mess that up.
Which I encourage y'all to do that, so, but anyway, so After the special call meeting for the budget on August 15th, we will, again, we're gonna have a regular council meeting on the 22nd, but on the 29th, so August, we'll have lots of council meetings, we need y'all here. August 29th, so if you change anything during the budget workshop, we're gonna bring that back to you on the 29th. We don't have enough time to change it just 1 week. So we're gonna do the first reading of the budget ordinance on August the 29th. Then on September 12th, we'll have the second reading of the budget ordinance. We can go all the way to the 27th of September, but anybody that's been here more than a year or two knows those little funny things called hurricanes hit in September. So we wanna get it done, the first half of the month and not the second half. So again, we anticipate having that second reading of the budget ordinance on September the 12th. And then again, of course, our fiscal year starts October the 1st, so fiscal year 2024. A couple of just very broad notes, but just to keep in mind, where I talked about the property values that increased, nothing goes down. So our health insurance is increased about 12%, which is roughly $364,000. Our TMRS, that's our retirement system, for most of the employees, the contributions to that has increased 1.15%. That's an additional $175,000. Again, all approximations. The city property insurance is going up 32%, about $141,000. And then we will have in there, because again, due to, or as a reflection of our 2 CBAs, but also for the general government employees, a cost of living adjustment of 2.5% for all employees. So that'd be about $350,000. So just those 4 items right there, we already have to increase our budget $680,000. And again, I mentioned there's a decrease in the preliminary, not the certified, but the preliminary industrial district property values. Keep in mind, whatever our tax rate is, and we anticipate the tax rate going down, is that the IDA, the industrial district agreement, requires or allows that all our industrial district partners only pays 93% of that. So if the industrial district property values go down, and also the tax rate goes down, we are going to get less revenue from our IDAs for this kind of fact. It's going to go down. So again, we anticipate that a decrease in the property tax rate as a result of the taxable property values increasing. So again, property values go up, tax rate's going to go down, but with IDA values going down and property value going down, we're going to see a loss of that source of revenue. Don't know the impact of that yet, but we will recognize that, unfortunately. That's the general fund. Now, we have an enterprise fund, which includes water, sewer, waste management, and street sweeping. We do anticipate a 6.5% increase in that. Now, before you say, oh my goodness, that's gonna be a lot, and I'm not discounting that we all like to pinch pennies and dollars and all that stuff, and I'd rather keep it in my pocket as opposed to giving it. But the average utility bill, average, somebody like me who takes all the showers they want, waters the plants and all that, it's gonna be average about $3.48 a month, okay? Now, the low consumption, so somebody could say they live by themselves and they, don't do crazy things like wash their truck twice a week or any of those, I'll probably see like a $2.77 a month increase. So while we all like to keep our money, we hear these stories all the time. We get calls, the things that are breaking the water and sewer things, and the only way we can address those needs is through service and user fees. Property tax does not go to the enterprise fund. It's only through user fees, so what we charge. So that's very high level stuff. Like I said, just a couple of notes. We will come in and on August the 8th, we'll give you that proposed budget. And on August the 15th, we'll talk about it as a group, but in in that interim, if you got questions, you got comments, let's hear them.
Well, I appreciate you bringing up the different funds. I think we have like around 27 different types of funds we work out of, but the enterprise is the main one that a lot of people don't understand, is that it does not come from property tax, things like that. So if you use it, then it must be paid for, like the waste management, street cleaning, things like that. So whether or not people get it is that if you have a water bill, if the water was cleaned, processed, and went through your meter, it has to be paid for. We don't have an account where we say, we're just gonna give it back to you. It's got to be paid. It was used, it was processed, and it went through the meter. Whether or not it was a leak, whether or not now, whatever, it happens. So whether it happens to one person on this side of town, or a person on this side of town, it's all treated the same. Because the enterprise fund does not work off of property tax. It's worked off of what you use.
It happened to me. I had a broken pipe, and it was $300-something, and I'm city council. I had to pay it. Broken pipe.
Yep. All right, thank you, Mr. Coons. And I do like having it in the library. I know this time we're gonna get, well, basically what it was is the reason why we like to have forums for the public to come in and to hear the budget is because, just like we talked about, it's an Open Meetings Act. There's nothing that we're hiding here. There's no hidden agenda. The people that you see sitting up here, in case y'all did not know, I make $200 a month before taxes, and these other 6 make $100 a month before taxes. Ain't nobody in here getting rich. Ain't nobody in here getting a cut on their water bill. This is because we want to help. I go home to high bills and 4 kids, just like everybody else, okay? So I want to make sure when we do things like that, let everybody come here, let everybody come see. Because when I go home to an old truck and bills like everybody else. So we're all trying to make this work together. And so I appreciate that. Thank you all.
Anybody else have a question?
Okay, if not, we will move on from the presentation. City manager report, right back at you.
I do. So Wednesday, August the 2nd, so not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow, from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m., City Hall will be closed for some staff training. So you can still use the night drop box if you want to drop off your water bill. Appreciate everybody's cooperation on that. And then just a reminder, council, the TML conference registration is open, and that's going to be October 4th through 6th in Dallas. So if you're interested in that, get with Tricia. RJ.
Thank you, Mr. Coons. All right, city council report, starting at my left with Mr. Birch.
The only thing I want to bring up is we've already talked about the trees at the department, so I just wanted to bring that up again, that we're conscious about the trees. We're going to try to protect them as much as we can.
Yes, I love those old trees too, so I appreciate people looking out for them. That's it.
Ms. McKenna.
I'm just really excited about 16th Street and all the development on that street. It's very exciting to see.
Ms. Salton.
There's a food drive, distribution that will be taking place at the Riverside Pavilion, so I want to just give kudos and a shout out and a thank you to the city of Orange, because if it wasn't for them really just kind of having that pavilion available so that the city could come out and be blessed by that. So, and they work really great behind the scenes, making sure those things, after the distribution, that those things are picked up. So I want to, for Lawrence, to thank him, and Jay, and Coots and the mayor for that. Also, I want to just say, because the mayor has spoke on this, we do take in consideration y'all concerns, ideas, your comments, and all of that. Just because we do not all the time kind of get back with you does not necessarily mean that we haven't addressed it, especially things like the Christmas things. We are working behind the scenes, taking care of those things. We've talked and, making plans to address that. Christmas isn't here yet. Give us time to really take care of the things that you're asking us to do. Just because you don't see it immediately does not mean that we're not working hard to get those things done for you. So just bear with us. We hear your concerns. If we didn't want to hear you, you wouldn't be able to stand before us and tell us. So we are listening to what you have, your concerns, and we are getting these things done. Just give us a chance. Thank you.
y'all got the message on the trees from Bubba. Thank y'all
Yes.
for protecting those. That's all I have.
I'll bring up the mayor saying that 6 of us here make $100 a month and he makes 200. I got dressed down the other day by an elderly gentleman, told me that he paid my salary. And when I told him what my salary was, he called me a liar. And I said, well, go down to City Hall, public record. And he said, well, you're serious? I said, yeah, how much you think you pay me? 40, 50,000. I said, try 1,200. He said, well, then you're a damn fool.
Yeah, we've been calling.
Yep, we've been called that many times. So thank y'all, and I will close once again. Thank you, Ms. Halter, for what you said. Thank you, everyone, for what you said. Guys, like I told y'all, we all have jobs, we all work, we all have things. And I know, this is my chance to say something, but the things that were bought years ago are one thing, but you had Black Santa too. Like, I was Santa. So I know that it was some diversity. Now, if we need to go get some more things, that's fine, but it's July and we have to work on that. Second, one request that I would like to make is, whichever one of us that has received the information from the gentleman that continuously comes about the water, can we please have something from city that we can give through email, through whichever council member he talked to make him understand how that situation works, and that there will be no, whatever we have come up with, because we need to give him an answer and get this moving, because I'm getting, yeah. All right, so.
I definitely.
I agree
Just
with
give
you.
him his answer. All right. With that being said, I love y'all. Thank y'all for coming. I'm sorry. Adjourn to close executive session. Deliberation with city attorney pursuant to chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code. Deliberation with legal counsel. Consultation with city attorney regarding the city of Orange stormwater facilities and the maintenance thereof in and alongside city property and rights of way. At this time, you can go see the putt-putt course at the library, and you have until 7 to play putt-putt, and we will reconvene when we're done with executive session. Thank y'all.
Tell him hello.